Institutional Baptist Church because when I see her parents and
Yes.
her father, and I know she's sick and tired of me talking about this, but her father built the church. My father built the first church in Carver's Ranch, which was now called West Park. And her father built that church. And I still remember that Sunday the church was dedicated with her mother and father sitting on the first pew where everybody was so happy with that church. And so I know she's heard me say this 1,000 times, but when I see her, I can't help but make that connection and to see what a good job they did with her.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Um, okay, we can start. I think Miss Pinkney, I see your video to me is seems like it's stuttering a little bit. I'm not sure if that is on my end or if there's a issue there. But at the bottom, do you see where it says camera mic at the very bottom?
He said he thinks this is studying. Okay, I'm going to try it. Is this studying?
At the bottom, it
He
says
said
camera
it's
mic. It seems like it's stuttering a little bit. It could be on my side too, so I'm not really sure where it's happening. But at the very bottom, it says camera mic, and you
You
can
saw it?
choose.
I saw it.
Oh, okay. So yes, where it says camera mic, it says general.
Where it says camera mic, it says
It says show advance under camera.
okay, all right. So okay, I see show advance. So just click on that.
Show advance, and what? Yes, click on that. And what does it say? Your like uh the camera
Resolution.
resolution. Yes,
It says standard definition 480p.
480. Okay.
And I got low
Will
definition 360. You want me to put it on high 720?
yeah. Let's just try. Let's try it. Yes.
Oh, maybe getting feedback from the speaker over here.
Yeah, that's probably happening too.
Did it stop?
No.
No, I hear you.
So what
I
kind of
hear you.
audio you get now?
I hear your audio. Yes,
You hear
I hear you.
you hear some feedback, right?
It sounds fine right now. I think so. I don't hear any feedback.
Okay, yeah, I was getting some feedback coming through the speaker. We have a speaker connected onto to the computer, so. But it
Oh,
seems fine now.
yeah, it seems fine. I think we're good. So we'll start. We'll start, and um, the ladies will uh, just having a conversation. So I'll move out of the way, and you guys have your list with your questions, and I think feel free to ask any follow up questions of Miss Pinkney. And Miss Pinkney, if there's anything you want to say in this setting or platform, please let us hear it. We would love to hear whatever you would want to tell us. So I'll move out of the way and let the young ladies have it. So I'm going backstage. I'm not sure who will start out, if it's Michaela, Demaya, either way.
Good afternoon.
You guys can start.
Hi.
So take your
Good
microphone
afternoon.
off of mute. Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Demaya Swain. I will be starting.
Okay. 1 second, Demaya. Let me move from the I'm gonna move off the screen and then you can start. And Michaela,
And
take your microphone off of
I'm
mute.
having trouble understanding her. So she's going to have to speak plainly
Yes.
because I
Make sure.
didn't understand what she just said.
Yes. Make sure you guys speak clearly and raise your voice a little. Project. That would be great. So I'm backstage, and now you can start.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Miss Pinkney. My name is Demaya Swain, and I will be starting the conversation first. So, what do you think your role as a preservation leader has played in the progress of women and women's rights in South Florida and beyond? Did you hear me?
Yes. Um, I think that my role in the area of preservation um, and women's rights have sort of played out together. Um, in preservation, what I have tried to do is to help us to understand that we have institutions, places, traditions, heritage, culture that need to be preserved. We're somebody, and we have to learn how to respect ourselves. We have to learn how to respect our history, our institutions, like our churches, our schools, and our heritage, our families, all of the, we need to preserve the traditions from which we come. You know, we get in with new people who don't have our values, and we say, "Oh, that's old fashioned. They don't do that anymore." And so when you look, you're into something that has gotten you into trouble. And of course, also relates to women and the respect of women who lay the foundation for what we learn. Because it's most of what the heritage and the culture is passed on through women. And so you learn your rights and how to fight for those rights through sometimes maybe a back door through preservation. Because what you're going to find when you start working in preservation is that people are not going to accept what you're trying to do. They're going to say, oh, that old building over there needs to be torn down, as they did with the Hampton House. Uh, or they just might say that nobody's going to follow you with that, whatever that is, whatever you think. But you have to be committed and convinced that you want to be a preservationist. You want to save some of your history, and you want to save the values that were passed down to you, and you want to save your culture and pass it on and give it to young women and old women and whoever. So that's the answer to that.
Thank you. And Michaela, you're next.
Good afternoon. I'm Michaela. Thank you for being here with us. My question was, what specific things do you believe that you have done which were of benefit to all women?
Well, what I think I've done that's been beneficial to all women. Number one, a teacher. I used to teach. Um, then I became an assistant principal, and then I founded the African American Committee of Day Heritage and the Lemon City Cemetery Community Corporation and the Hampton House. And all of those women are involved in all of those. And so what I have done, I've tried to model for women coming along. And I give you some examples of some of the people who worked with me. Um, Cecilia Stewart, who was I recruited to be on the Hampton House board. She's now head of the Miami-Dade Historic Preservation Board. And Jackie Collier, who was a student at Edison Senior High School when I was a counselor there, she's now chairman of the board. So when you're in these organizations or institutions, I think you need to give of yourself, just as Miss Duffy is giving of herself. And so she's a role model, you young ladies. And this is what happens. You have senior citizens or young people who are willing to take their time and donate their time to helping others. And that's what I've tried to do. I tried to teach them, I tried to give them experience in organizations that I've been a part of so that they can learn and so that they can become. And this is a part of what I hope that I would behind.
Thank you, Ms. Pinkney. So the next question is, how did you utilize your role as an educator to mentor girls or young women? Did you hear me? The next question was, how did you utilize your role as an educator to mentor girls or young women?
Question. Repeat it. Repeat the question.
The question was, how
Okay.
did you
Well, I
utilize
just
your
love
role?
mentoring. I see potential. Okay, I realize my role young people because when I see potential in young people, uh, I want potential developed. And so I try to get young people involved in what is going on. I mentioned before some of the people who have been mentored by me in some of the things that they are doing. And that's one of my interests in seeing to it that young people get these experiences so that they can build upon what they know. And also, I want them to have experiences that will give them confidence in themselves and to believe themselves and to believe that they can do whatever it is that they want to do, that they can become lawyers and or doctors or teachers or whatever it is that they want to do, giving them opportunities to do various activities, which gives them confidence that they make a contribution and they can do whatever they want to do in life.
Thank you for that. Michaela, you're next, I think.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pigley. You obtained a doctorate degree when few African American women did so. What campaign do you think this has on women of today? What impact do you think this
Well,
has on women today?
I think the impact that that has on women of today is that they can do it too. That they can get advanced degrees and further their education and become whatever it is that they want to become. I think that's the impact because you have to see somebody do it and that it can be done. If somebody else can do something, you know, you can do it too. If someone can get a master's degree, you can do it. If somebody get a bachelor's degree, you can get it. If somebody can get a PhD degree, you can do it. You you have to believe in yourself and put forth the effort that is necessary in order to achieve your goal.
That was great. Thank you. So what has prompted you to embrace a role as a preservationist? What
Well,
prompted you?
yeah, I understood the question. I think it's because I was taught to respect my history. I'm a social science major, and I was taught that this is an important thing. Preserving your history, and preserving your buildings, preserving, for instance, your church, St. John Baptist Church, your schools. It's important. And in today's world, where developers are going into communities, buying up all of the property as much as they can and building high rises. When I go over town, and I think that over town is an example of where we've almost lost the battle for preservation, because I go over to, I was born in Overtown. I was born in 1827 Northwest Fifth Court. And when I go over there now and see the high-rise buildings, what I see is a different culture almost. I see developers who get money to build these affordable housing based on the poverty of the people who live there, and these are they're getting rich off our poverty, and we are losing our heritage and our culture, which is very important. So I think that historic preservation is something that especially Black people need to wake up to. I think we're sleeping through it. And those who want to take advantage of our being uh, using our heritage and property and land for their advantage. And I think that we need to look at what's going on, decide how we're going to handle it. Because
Thank you. Michaela.
Thank you, Ms. Pinkney. How many of the women and men who have discarded themselves as preservationists do not look like you? How have you revealed in those circles?
well, there are not that many. We don't really. This historic preservation is not an area where Black people seem to be that interested in. But I can say the achievements that I've been able to accomplish, a lot of it has been because of white historic preservationists. They have come to my rescue. And I'll give you some examples. For instance, Albemarle Parks, when she heard that I was trying to save the Hampton House, she had so many beautiful pictures of the Hampton House back in its heyday, which she let me use in advertising what the Hampton House used to be like. When the county was going to tear the Hampton House down because the neighborhood was complaining because the drug addicts and the homeless people had taken over. I went to Louis Pinellas, and he was the brother of Alex Pinellas, and I asked him to help to intercede to get his brother to help us to stop the demolition of the Hampton House, and he did. And his brother, the mayor, came out to the stop the demolition conference that had. Then when it was time to try to, we asked them to buy Hampton House, and they bought the Hampton House. The county bought the Hampton House for $450,000. And when it was time to get money for restoration, I went to Richard Heisenbottom, who came out, and I didn't even know how to fill out the application because it required an architect to fill out the application because you have to say what you're going to do with the money. And I couldn't do that. So he filled it out for me and submitted it and signed it. And it was approved for $4.7 million. So while we don't have that many Black people in historic preservation, we have had white people who have come over to help us, help Black people to get some of the preservation of our history to be worked out. Now, the other thing is the other project that I worked on was the Lemon City Cemetery, the Lemon City Cemetery in Lemon City. And the lawyer who did the agreement, because the city of Miami developers permission to build 3 affordable housing units on that cemetery. And then we found out that they didn't know it was a cemetery. And then we found out it was a Black cemetery. So we asked that the construction be stopped. Now, we didn't stop all 3 of them halfway up, so there was a compromise. And that one was built in around 3rd Avenue. But we stopped. We got a lawyer who was a white lawyer, Thomas Matco, and he drew up the agreement between the Lemon City Cemetery and the developers to stop the other 2 buildings from being built. So we have had cooperation from these are just some examples that I'm just giving you to show you some of the cooperation that I've received from the white community.
Thank you, Ms. Pinkney. So the next question is, what single accomplishment are you most proud of? What single accomplishment are you most proud of?
I can't hear you.
What single accomplishment are you most proud of? What single accomplishment?
Okay, I think it's sort of hard for me to I heard it. I guess I would say the Hampton House, but I also am very proud of the Lemon City Cemetery, the preservation the City Cemetery.
Thank you.
Thank you. What was your first reaction upon the election of Kamala Harris as Vice President of the United States?
Oh, well, I'm very proud of that. I'm very happy about that. And I think she's making a very vice president. Uh, and I think that she is an example to others and to other women as to what they can become. So I'm very proud of her.
Okay, thank you.
Now
How
let's
would
see.
you contrast your service as an educator and a preservation leader with Kamala Harris's service as Vice President?
Wait, I lost it. Wait, I lost it. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh,
Yes, we
I
can
have to
hear
get
you.
I have to get back on somehow or another. Can
Oh,
you
we
hear
can hear
me?
you.
You can hear
Yes, we can hear you.
you just can't.
Okay. Okay. Now I lost you. Uh, can you repeat the question?
Okay. How would you contrast your service as an educator and a preservation leader with Kamala Harris's service as Vice President?
Contrast.
Maya, you have to speak up. There's like a background noise that's happening there where you are, but you have to speak up when you're giving the question, so she can hear you clearly.
How
Okay.
would you contrast?
Okay. Wait. Say it again, because.
She's getting feedback over here.
Okay. Can you repeat it one more time?
How would you contrast your service as an educator and a preservation leader with Kamala Harris's service as Vice President?
I'm not sure.
No, it's how we your Paris.
Okay. I think yeah. Okay. How I would how I would contrast Kamala Harris. I think I got that. Okay. Another thing, we're both children of immigrants. I think that that's one of the comparisons. Uh, um, my parents were from the Bahamas, and her parents were from Jamaica and India. And so when you come to a different country, you have to get accustomed to the values and the culture of the country, which might be different from where you came from. And sometimes it's difficult. I know when I was growing up, I remember one of my classmates I was born in the United States, but he came from the Bahamas, and he had a Bahamian accent. And the kids used to mock him, and they used to tease him. And, you know, he would get in a fight almost every day. But that student became the first Black county commissioner of Miami-Dade County. So because we're different, sometimes some people decide that you should be picked on. And I remember one time somebody just they didn't just like me. They didn't like me. And she pushed me into some cherry bushes. And so, you know, kids, my mother told me now, don't fight. So I wasn't going to fight her. And all the kids said, hit her back. Well, she was bigger than I was. And I knew if I hit back, she was going to beat me up. And so if I got into a fight, I was going to get another beating when I got home for fighting and disgracing the family. So, because, you know, my mother said that the kids tease you because they would do that. They would mock your parents because they had the Bahamian accent. So they would speak as your parents spoke, and they try to embarrass you. And when they got angry at you, they call you an old Nassau. And but my mom always said, you maintain your dignity. Don't let them, because of their upbringing, bring you down to their level. We're trying to teach you to stay on a certain level in your behavior. And so I want you following with what they're trying to do to make you a part of what they're doing. And usually it ended up in a fight. So I'm sure that she has had to go through some struggles that immigrants go through. People don't like them. You know, some people don't like them. And she rose above it. And that we have to teach all of our young people to do. That when these friends or classmates or whoever upset or picking on you, as we call it, then you have to understand of a higher calling. And it is incumbent upon you to figure out a way to ignore it or to report it or do something about it so you don't get into trouble. And then it makes you a stronger. I think that those that are the ways that we these same kinds of problems. Her parents is a possibility there, and I know that's what happened with.
Miss Pinkney, sorry to interrupt. Is it possible, because your audio just seems to have a really freezing and some issues, but is it possible that you can click the camera mic button again, and maybe let's reduce the quality down where it says advanced? We only have a few more questions because I think we're almost out of time, but where it says camera mic, it says show advance.
Do you have any more questions?
We have maybe 2 more questions. It says show advanced in the settings where you clicked before. And maybe change it to low definition 360.
Okay, already done.
Okay, let's see if it
Yeah,
sounds
I
better.
got
Okay, it seems like I hear your audio clearer now. So you changed it to 360?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll try now. I think the young ladies have maybe I think 2 more, one question each, and then I think we'll conclude.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Pinkney. There's only one question left, and that question is, you are greatly respected as a pillar and a sage of this community. What advice would you give Kamala Harris?
Well, I think she's strong in her beliefs and what in her values, and listen to that still small voice that speaks to her and gives her guidance, and I think that she's going to be a good leader. Um, and I believe that what advice I would give to her would be to listen to people. And I'm not sure that I got the first part of your question, but I got the last part of it. So if I didn't answer, I might not have answered it fully. But I think if she stays in contact with the people and she knows the needs of the people, she'll be on a pretty good safe path. Did I answer that question? No, I cannot hear. I'm not. I can't hear.
Okay, it's my turn to ask the question. Your
Okay,
parents were immigrants from the.
did I answer her question?
Yes, you did answer her question.
Okay. All right.
Your parents were immigrants from the Bahamas. Do you think that your experience as a child of immigrants gives you another place of similarity with Kamala Harris?
Yes, I think there's a similar experience there, and I sort of alluded to it before, because when I talked about um, some of the experiences that I had because my parents were immigrants. And I'm not sure, I haven't heard her say anything about that, but she probably had some of the same experiences. Experiences and prejudices, I would say. Uh, and so I think that she had to learn how to overcome. I think she had to learn how to overcome being an immigrant and how to overcome being black and being mixed. And and I think that all of those experiences made her stronger. And she had to figure out how to be successful in spite of the challenges that we had. You see, that's something that I want to point out. A lot of times we make excuses. We say the white man did this to us and did that, which is true. But somehow or another, we have to learn how to outsmart that. And we have to learn how to overcome that and how not to have anybody do whatever they're doing to bring us down to be successful. And I think that Kamala Harris was successful in doing that. So, and I think that, I've had experience with that, so that's where the comparison comes in. And as the child of immigrants, so I think it makes you stronger because of what you have to go through to survive.
Thank you so much.
And I'm sorry, I don't know.
I think that,
I don't know
I
what's
think,
wrong with this, and I
yeah,
don't
I
know how
think
to fix
there's a lot of background noise that's happening, but I think we're going to conclude here, Miss Pinkney. I mean, thank you very much for your time and speaking with us. This is so great. We hope to we look to utilize this not only on our website but in the community and with other young women and of all people, actually, because the story is something that we all need to hear. So thank you very much for taking the time out to be with us today, and we'll follow up with you later on. Hopefully I get to see you tonight. I'm not sure if you'll still be there when I get there, but hopefully you are. But we'll talk very soon. And I also did too. You helped me with uh, what is her name that's there at the Hampton House? Amani. Amani.
Yes.
Yeah. So Amani helped me with the interviews I did. I did 3 interviews with Larry Little from the
Oh my.
Miami Dolphins. Yes, and that came out very good. I interviewed him there, and I also interviewed Frederick Ingram with the school board. With the teachers union, Frederick Ingram, and I'm sure you know DC Clark. So
Yes.
I interviewed all 3 of them there at the Hampton House back in November, and it went very well. So thank you really for having such a beautiful space and a space that speaks to our stories in our community. So thank you.
Well, thank you for using the Hampton House
Yes,
because
yes, yes. And I
we
talk about it all the time. I was
well,
speaking
that's
today
what
with a
we
gentleman about it.
we
All
need
right.
that. We
Yes,
need that very much. Yeah,
yes.
we need to support the Hampton House because it was so long and hard to get. Well, and it's not finished yet. But for what we have now, a lot of sweat and tears went into that. So we want to the community to really give us support. So we thank you for that.
No problem. No problem. Okay. Well, have a good rest of your day, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ladies. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
I enjoyed you, ladies, and I hope you got something out of it.
Say thank
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
you. Bye bye.
Bye.